First for Miami, Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. And it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4. And for Dallas, Calderon is out there with Ellis. And it's Samuel Gallenberg manning the middle at the center position. Then there's Marion, and it's Nowitzki in at the 4.
I don't know of too many other players, Kevin, who have his level of concentration offensively. He just seems to have that singular focus you need as a shooter that, you know, even if a defender's all over you, you still just lock in and let it go.
And he's also one of those guys who just seems to be able to take it up a few notches when there's a game to be won late in the fourth quarter. In other words, he's at his best at winning time.
You're going to be waiting a long time if you're waiting for him to miss that when he's that open. Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and were viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare, then the Pacers really took them deep, all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
A chance now to go to Dorisburg, who had a chance to talk with Rick Carlisle.
There are a lot of big names to deal with in this one, but perhaps none bigger than LeBron James. He told me planning for LeBron is a headache because he can do so much on the floor, saying there isn't a hole in his game. The only real way to slow him down is to get him working against himself. Physically, there is no answer for LeBron.
And thank you for that, Doris. And for the Heat, the Pacers were their first real test, it seemed, and they had to survive a win or go home against him. It almost seemed Clark to take away any momentum they might have had when they went up against the Spurs in the finals.
You know, it's interesting. When I think of momentum in the playoffs, it doesn't carry over from game to game or series to series. I think each game, Kevin, is really an entity in and of itself. That said, Miami found a way, despite being pushed by the Pacers and being pushed by the Spurs, both to Game 7s. It came down to LeBron James's brilliance, but also the hot shooting of a complimentary role-playing winner, Shane Battier.
And it's Wade with the jam.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
Nowitzki's shot's good.
And you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Jose Calderon out of Spain is a terrific playmaker and shooter. He's not a guy who's going to put up big numbers, but you give him the keys to your offense, and he's going to make a lot of good things happen for you.
For Dallas, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Here's Marion, and yes, sir, that one drops. And going back to Calderon, as good as he is offensively, Steve, you have to manage his matchups defensively.
Yeah, especially in today's NBA, quickness can be so deadly, and I think it's true. Calderon sometimes is at the mercy of those faster point guards in the league, but he can really play. He does an awful lot of good things out on the floor.
He's got so much junk in his trunk, he'll find a way to hurt you.
And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist by Calderon. That's 7 points for Dirk Nowitzki. And Dirk Nowitzki gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Shane Battier is checked in for Udonis Haslem. LeBron against Marion. Goes up the baseline. LeBron with the bucket. LeBron's got 7. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Nowitzki for 3. And it's Miami with the rebound.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
Mavericks trailed by 4. Crowder, the pass to Harris. They get it back. Here's Carter, and it's sent back by Anderson. They retain possession. And here's Ellis from beyond the arc. Dallas again missing.
Oh, that's got to be deflating and disappointing to miss a wide open shot like that right in your wheelhouse.
Battier guarded by Wright. Allen drives in. LeBron outside. Great defense that time from Ellis. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, taking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
1:27 left in the first quarter. And Cole kicks to LeBron. Carter knocks it loose. Harris with it. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Shot by Crowder, no good.
For a little while in the recent past, it seemed as though the Mavericks were becoming a slowdown team, but last year they got back to running and gunning and ended up being one of the best offensive teams in the league.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. As you said about the Mavs, 6th in the league in fast break points, and a lot of that was due to their passing, Steve.
Yeah, when you have Dirk and the other bigs that they have, they can get a break going in a hurry if you don't back up defensively. So it wasn't a surprise that they were up there in both fast break points and assists because of their fluid nature offensively.
And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. DeJuan Blair, he's checked in for Wright. Dalembert comes in for Jay Crowder. Sean Marion is checked in for Vince Carter. And Ellington is subbed in for Monte Ellis. Ellington from beyond the arc and then some. Ellington's got himself on the board with 3 there. The Heat have gotten 8 of their 13 shots to find the bottom of the bucket. LeBron drives in, and he banks in the layup.
You know, it seems like when they've gone to him, he's really come through. And that's not something they should get away from.
Ellington dishes to Marion. The feed to Harris. Here's Dalembert. The shot is off. Excellent D there from Allen. The Heat leading by 3. Anderson passes to Allen. Pulls up on the wing. Again, the Heat good for 2. Here is Ellington. Knocked away and out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. Miami's on 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. LeBron kicks to Cole. Battier outside. Back to LeBron. The Heat shooting their first free throws of the night right here. No good on the free throw. And Miami making a change here. No good on the second free throw. Stolen by Wade. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. Let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for Miami.
And they're knocking down that mid-range jumper so far.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Gentlemen, when you look at the Heat finding the right pieces to build a championship, Shane Battier has been one of those important pieces. Coach Eric Spoelstra said, quote, "From a basketball IQ standpoint, Shane was a perfect match for LeBron. I've never coached 2 players with such high-level basketball IQ. And gentlemen, the Heat have been able to find all the right pieces to build a championship. And Shane Battier has been one of those important pieces."
Certainly a cerebral approach to the game. Much appreciated, Doris. Thank you. Now here's Wade. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Devin Harris. That's his first foul.
Oh, yeah, he had not established position.
You know, I prefer the refs to whistle with a block when in doubt. I thought that was a good call there.
Wade with it. Now guarded by Ellington. Shot clock at 6. It's hauled in by Nowitzki.
Wade seems to be slowing down just a touch, and the difficulty as you get older when you're not a great jump shooter, which Wade is not, is that the defenses will back off you. And that's the big challenge now for Dwayne Wade, adjusting to that newer style of defense that he's going to be looking at.
And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Nowitzki, 18 feet away, and he knocks it down. Nowitzki's got 9 points. The Heat with the lead. And Steve, you go back to the strong output for Dwayne Wade last season for the 4th time. In his career, he averaged over 20 points and 5 rebounds and 5 assists a game. Clark, one of only 4 players in the league last season to hit that mark.
And Kevin, he led all shooting guards in player efficiency rating for the 5th consecutive season. Some might argue, but the numbers speak truth. He's the best shooting guard in the game. Dallas usually does well against the Eastern Conference, and even in a year when they were struggling, that still was the case. The Mavs posted a 500 or better record against every division in the Eastern Conference.
And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Harris kicks to Ellington. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris. Ellington's got his second bucket of the night.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jumpers.
Dallas did finish 41 up and 41 down in the year, with 17 of those wins coming, Steve, against the East. Not a bad mark for him.
And you'll remember last season, it was in March when the Mavs started gaining a lot of ground and kind of put themselves into playoff contention. And a lot of those wins that month came against Eastern Conference teams.
Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. But they get it back. LeBron dishes to Chalmers. Pass to Wade. He tries for 3, and that one's good. And now a 4-point Heat lead. Nowitzki against Bosh. Shoots. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. A different look for Dallas. White comes in for Samuel Dalembert. And it's Calderon in for Wayne Ellington. LeBron against Marion. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. The Mavericks have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Here's Wright. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
He's been trying to add that mid-range shot to his arsenal, but it still isn't there.
LeBron kicks to Wade. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. And that's 12 points for Dwayne Wade.
They're hovering around 50% for the game in three-pointers. That's pretty good. But they've really elevated here in the second quarter.
Calderon working against Chalmers. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line. Calderon's got his first 2 points. The Heat leading by 5. And Dirk Nowitzki gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's foul number 2 on him. It might not warrant sitting him entirely, but another one before halftime, they could be in some trouble.
And the officials call over the back. A little too aggressive there.
Well, he gave the officials no choice there. Easy call. Went right over the top.
Yeah, he's got to go straight up when he's under the boards in that kind of traffic. Can't chest first into the man in front of you. That's a foul.
That free throw, no good.
You know, part of being a championship team is having the talent first and foremost, but then managing the minutes of that talent. The Heat, I thought, did a nice job monitoring the minutes of the big 3 throughout the season and playoffs last year.
Here's Wright. Oh, that's blocked. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Kevin, thank you. There was a lot of thought about how the Heat could improve after they lost to the Mavs in the 2011 NBA Finals. Many called for a veteran point guard, but the team felt comfortable with who they had. Coach Eric Spoelstra said, "We felt we had one of the younger point guard tandems in the league that we can build on and offer us championship minutes right now." They grew into that role and were a big part of their back-to-back titles. Spoelstra says they earned it with their hard work, and he couldn't be happier, guys.
All right, Doris, thanks. Mavericks making a switch here. Crowder's checked in. And Miami calls their first time out of the game. As you said, Clark, the big 3 in their prime, but really You want them to just get their work in during the season, not exhaust themselves before they make it to the playoffs.
I thought, Kevin, along those lines, I thought by the end of last season, Miami was exhausted. And once you try to win a third title in a row, the emotional fatigue and exhaustion really becomes a factor. So this is going to be interesting to watch all year.
Chris Anderson is checked in for Miami. Battier comes in for Udonis Haslem. Kicks to Allen. And the layup's good off the glass. Allen's got 6.
That's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
There's the double team with Allen. Calderon kicks to Ellis. Offline with his 3.
You know, Shane Battier was such a great addition for this Heat team. Really a coach on the floor. And since they added him to the mix, guys, guess what? 2 straight championships.
And Steve, you look at Shane Battier, his ability to cross-match and guard 4s down low is one of the keys that enabled the Heat to go small, especially 2 years ago when they were in the finals.
Yeah, and in the regular season last year, it was very successful for Miami. That's why they shot those 3s so well, because they had the floor spread. But Battier always willing to take on that challenge physically. The question, though, is when you go against a guy like David West or even Carlos Boozer, it gets tougher. And so in the playoffs, Miami has had to maybe go small a little bit less often.
He's a winner, though, isn't he?
No question.
He feeds it to Cole. It's intercepted. Calderon against Battier. Knocks it loose. Gets it to go.
Well, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
We've got 1:28 left now here in the second. Wade kicks to Allen. He passes it to Cole. Hits the front of the rim and out. Average trailed by 5. Calderon for 3. Cole with the rebound. Carter down low. Wade is covering, and it's Carter missing. Allen outside. Back to Wade. Shoots. The offensive rebound.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Out of bounds. Miami takes possession. LeBron's checked in for the Heat. 46 seconds left to play in the first half. And the foul on Monte Ellis. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus. We'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Tell you what, LeBron can absolutely soar in for the finish. I remember last year, the alley-oop in the conference finals against Indiana just almost put his head on the rim.
Air freight is a nickname we could dub LeBron James. I mean, he's an unstoppable force and an immovable object. Defensively, the strength, length, mobility. He can wall you up and lock you down and put you away.
Now here's Allen. 6 points for him. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. He sinks the 11-footer. Allen's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And as the game has gone along, they've gotten much more aggressive on the offensive boards.
You know, crashing the boards is really an effort thing. It's an attitude and effort thing. And if teams get tired, they usually take a break on crashing the boards. But they've done just the opposite here.
LeBron James on the wing. And the defense didn't have position. They whistle a blocking foul, and he'll go to the line. That's on Monte Ellis. The Heat have only made 2 attempts, shooting poorly at the line in this one.
Well, this is a club that shot 75% as a team from the free throw line last season.
Kevin, that trip there was a good sign for him. He's been getting to the line often, but has been struggling to convert. That was the confidence booster he needed. He's been...
Now, presented by Sprint.
Great to have you with us.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway.
The Heat marched their way to the best record in the league last season, 66-16, and the ability to win on the road, a big part of that league best record.
Here's Calderon. The tray. LeBron grabs the miss. LeBron's got 6 rebounds here tonight. And Jose Calderon gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. And back to the Heat in their play on the road. 29 wins for them as the visiting side, and that was in another category compared to every other team in the league. Steve, nobody else really even came close.
No, nobody did, and I'll tell you what, when they went on their huge winning streak, it wasn't like they did it all at home. In fact, 13 of those 27 games during the winning streak were on the road, and that's not easy to do.
Certainly was not the year the Mavs expected or had in mind last season. After retooling and expecting a playoff appearance, they ended up out of the playoffs and looking for answers.
And back to the Mavs, 24-17 at home, which is a solid record, but you have to be better than solid, I think, Steve, to get into the playoffs in the Western Conference.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Kevin. And you think about the Mavs' shortcomings last year. I mean, Dirk being hurt early, so they didn't mesh well. And then but when he did come back, there probably was too much ground to make up. So hopefully Dallas can have a full season of health for Dirk and the rest of the roster.
LeBron kicks to Chalmers. Second chance shot, kicks it out to LeBron. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Chalmers has got assist number 5 here tonight. Mavericks trailed by 12. Calderon passes to D'Alembert. Back to Calderon. Offensive rebound. And it's good. Walk through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
For Dallas, they have made 2 and missed 2 at the line tonight.
Well, they were very pleased with their free throw numbers a year ago. They knocked down about 79% from the stripe as a team.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fellas. I mean, their free throw shooting made a difference for them in a lot of their games last season.
Wade kicks to LeBron. And it's off from three-point range. The Mavericks have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half.
Much has been made about the show LeBron puts out during games, but he also puts on a spectacle in his pregame routine. Last season, he and others started pulling out all the stops and dunking in the pregame warm-up in an effort to break a sweat.
Here's Calderon, and that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. Dallas calls timeout.
He has to be concerned with all the missed shots. I mean, it happens to every team, but you have to find a way to keep being productive even when you go through a shooting drought.
He might be trying to tell them to get to the free throw line. You know, all teams go cold at points during the game, but the good teams still find ways to score.
Brandon Wright's checked in for Dallas. Nowitzki, that's for 2. No good off the back of the rim. And Clark, you mentioned the pregame dunks for LeBron, a devastating finisher. Some have asked why he's never competed in the All-Star Slam Dunk competition. In fact, I say that every Saturday night I'm sitting on that microphone. Why isn't LeBron in this competition?
Wouldn't it be nice? In fact, I think, didn't Magic Johnson even put up a $1 million incentive for him to compete? Yeah, it would be incredible to see him. I don't know. I think it's become almost a chore for players these days to enter, but it would be fantastic to see him out there.
He hits the second from the line.
You know, the Mavs, like many teams, always aware of who the free agents are that might help them become better. And prior to last season, they made sure they got their finances in order to make a run at Deron Williams to bring him home to Texas. Didn't work out, but they did the same thing this last offseason.
The Heat leading by 10. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. And for the Mavs, they know that in order for them to remain competitive and not go through a traditional rebuilding phase where they're going to finish, at the bottom for a few years, Steve, they're going to have to lure some free agents.
And one way or another, their top brass has always made sure that they would be able to move contracts around and make an offer to whatever big-name player was out there. But think about it. The last 2 years, they had unlimited cap room, unable to lure that big free agent fish to Dallas. And his mechanics are just all out of whack now. He just has no feel for his shot.
Well, his numbers certainly back that fact up. I mean, he has gone ice cold here.
The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. LeBron's got 8 points in the quarter.
Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something. You're right. Miami's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Chalmers against Calderon. The drive by Wade. 17-foot shot on the way. Gets the bucket. Wade's got 14 points for the game. Mavericks trailed by 16. Wright with it. Wade picks him up. They double him with LeBron. Wright dishes to Ellis. They need this. Misses off the left iron.
This has not at all been the kind of performance they've needed out of him.
The Heat have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. LeBron passes to Haslam. And it's Miami with another.
Usually teams go on runs and it comes from a lot of layups and dunks. But that's not the case here.
No, not at all. They're putting this run together with a lot of mid-range jump shots. So seeing a pretty good display of marksmanship right now.
Dallas calls timeout.
Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference had a better than 500 record against the West. And no surprise the Heat were one of those 3. And they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Tawan Blair. He's checked in for Nowitzki. Jay Crowder comes in for Vince Carter. Devin Harris is checked in for Monte Ellis. And it's Marion in for Jose Calderon. Mark, adding on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5, which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
It's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. So I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were. Well, LeBron is far enough along now in his career where you can start to project some of his career stats, and they're staggering. I mean, he could end up the first player ever to end up with 30,000 points, 10,000 assists, and 10,000 rebounds. I mean, that's remarkable.
Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Blair's got his second basket of the night. The Heat leading by 18. And Chalmers kicks to Wade. Fades and shoots. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And when you talk about LeBron's ability to pile up stats, whether it's scoring, rebound, or passing, Clark, he can do it all.
He really can. He's dominant in every facet of the game, and you love his durability and his stamina. He is a stat sheet stuffer supreme, and that's the highest level of stat sheet stuffing you can have, and he's at the pinnacle of the peak.
Well said. The Heat have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Out to Wade. From deep. Another miss by Wade.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
Here's Crowder. And the shot is long. Now the Heat with it. They're on a 17-7 run. And the basket by Chalmers.
And yeah, they're moving the ball now. 8 of their last 10 points coming off assisted buckets.
Steve, nothing makes a coach smile as much as pure, selfless teamwork.
Dallas, no good that time either.
You know, when the shot's not there for you, you've just got to recognize it and move the ball on.
Yeah, I think he had tunnel vision right there. His only thought was to shoot it, no matter what else was going on.
James. Bosch dishes to Haslam. He kicks it to Chalmers. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
We're seeing the Mavericks unable to defend against Wade.
He has 14 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
Well, it's no secret. I mean, the more points he can come up with from out there, the better off they'll be offensively with their spacing. You know, if you just look at the numbers without knowing who Dwayne Wade was, you'd think he was probably 6'7" or 6'8", but the way he blocks shots and rebounds, even at 6'4", he just plays much bigger than he really is.
The Heat leading by 21. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. Samuel Dalembert picks one up.
Bad time for these defenders to be standing around watching. Not while the ball's in his hand.
And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession.
And not a good idea throwing the ball down the court that far.
Here's Calderon. Shot is off. The 3 quarters of play all in the books. And this one all but over. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Miami.
They've knocked down plenty of mid-range jumpers in this one. That's been big for them.
And they're attacking the gaps in the defense with their quick, aggressive drives into the paint area.
Miami leading by 23. And here is LeBron. It's back to Battier. Nowitzki with the steal. That's tipped. Here's Chalmers, and it's sent back from Dalembert. Here's Nowitzki. That misses off the backboard. And Miami shooting it really well. 54% from the floor. Dishes to Chalmers. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Chalmers has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Miami.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Now a timeout called by Miami. And the Heat with some changes. Oden comes in for Chris Bosh. And it's Allen in for LeBron. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Ray Allen is on the wing. And Samuel Dalembert picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's just a flat frustration foul right there.
Boy, down like they are, he just took it out on his opponent. I mean, you've got to keep your composure. I don't think that was one of his best moments. On
defense, Dallas. Wade drives in. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
The Maverick shooting just 33%, struggling to get good looks. For three, Calderon cannot hit. And Miami the other way now.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question. And that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
18 feet out, and it's Miami with the rebound. Allen passes to Oden. Wade outside. Wade right side, and it's blocked by Wright, and they're able to recover. 6 on the shot clock. Fires for three, and there's Dwayne Wade on the assist by Battier. 25 points for Dwayne Wade. Ellis kicks to D'Alembert. Back to Ellis. Lets it go from deep. And that one's good.
I love it when a player like this shakes off a poor first half and comes back strong like he has, showing a lot of confidence in his game.
And the foul on Monte Ellis. That's his 5th foul. Wade drives in. There's the dish to Chalmers. Back to Wade. Knocked loose. Pass to Allen. Wade outside. Goes back up. Offensive rebound. From deep three-point range. Can't get it to go. Dallas has gone 2 or 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession. And the Heat making a change here. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time. Poked away. And Norris Cole is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
Off the inbound pass. Here's Wright, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Shane Battier. That free throw, no good. The Heat making a switch here. Wade's checked in. So neither attempt will fall that time for him.
Well, it's the edge they've had in that area on the glass that's played a big role in this game.
Yeah, they've got some strong guys, Steve. Guys that are strong and well put together, and they've used that strength to their advantage down low.
And sometimes when you have a big lead like this, you get a little lazy, maybe a little sloppy offensively.
And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession.
20 seconds on the shot clock.
We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Harris misses.
Didn't matter that he was surrounded. He was the guy who muscled everybody else out of the way to get that board.
Well, it was about midway through last season, guys, that we started hearing the rumors about Greg Oden working out and getting back in shape so he could make a return to the NBA. And lo and behold, here he is, the former Ohio State standout.
And he can't hit the second. And for Oden, a new start in the NBA, the former #1 overall pick out of Ohio State back in 2007 for the Portland Trailblazers.
Such a shame, the repeated knee injuries that kept Oden from achieving all that he'd hoped for in Portland. But you just hope that he would eventually get a chance to return and come back. So it's nice to see him out on the floor.
Wade outside. And that's a foul. It's called on Wayne Ellington. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. That free throw good from Wade. Both free throws good from Wade. .151 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Harris. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession. DeJuan Blair. He's checked in for Dallas. Harris against Wade. Anderson. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Talking about Chris Anderson, guys, the Birdman. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to fly last season, but he did latch on with a very good Miami Heat team who was in need of some help rebounding, which is his strength. He still can do that and block shots as well.
And Shane Battier gets the whistle. That's foul number 2 for him. Dallas making a switch here. Ellis is checked in. Crowder. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And the Birdman, a fan favorite from his days in Denver. The tattoos, his kinetic style of play, certainly drawing attention.
Well, he's an athletic presence inside at both ends of the floor. Defensively, he can slide his feet and block shots. And offensively, he's a guy who kind of hangs out on the weak side and finishes plays by catching and dunking.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Bernard James. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. LeBron's checked in for Shane Battier. Both free throws good from Wade. Dallas has gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the 4th. Dallas, no good that time either.
But an 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference.
To the inside. Here's Cole. He's guarded by Ellis. The 19-footer is on the money.
He's had an off game thus far, but his team has been able to pick up the slack and find a way to get it done here.
Lots of room. Again, the miss by Ellis.
Very poor shot selection there, guys.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Bernard James. That will get him his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we'll head to the line for 2. And he can't make the second free throw either. Missing both. The Mavericks shooting in the 4th quarter, not pretty, down around 29%.
And, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
And the second free throw, good. 27 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Tipped away. Stolen by Ellis. Tipped. Here's Blair. Rebounded by Oden.
And excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
And the foul called on DeJuan Blair. So that will be his 2nd foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Second free throw, no good. Here is Ellington. From deep. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle.